Hi, my sun sign, moon sign, rising sign, Scorpios. Welcome to your soul and love guidance. And before we start, I want to tell you just two things about what's happening astrologically with the planets around. And this month for you, Scorpio, we have the North Node in your house of intensity and passion and finances and I would say things that you share with your partner that it's for you valuable in terms to material things. And well, the North Node is basically the area where we need to focus, and it's like a karma that you feel like you need to get there. So I think it's very important for you, Scorpio, to understand how you share with your partner and the passion intensity you have for one another, and how you share that intensity and those emotions. It's a very emotional month, I would say, for you a little bit. And you can see it in the cards. And besides, we have Venus retrograde in the same area. It has to be with your passion and your intensity and your emotions. So let's look at what's going on here, right? According to the astrology and the cards, let's see what's going on. First of all, your general energy, what is coming towards you is the Two of Air. The Two of Air, if you see these two unicorns, they're like fighting, right? Like they just like not knowing where to go, what to do. They just like bumping heads. And that's how you feel. This month you're going to feel like you don't know what to do. Maybe you are between two situations, two people, whatever the situation is, you just feel like you cannot make any type of decision. And it's because I don't think you want to open emotionally. You're scared to show that part of you. And although you're looking for sharing and you're looking for intensity and you're looking for passion, it's like you still don't know which way to go. That's how you're going to feel this month. It's like that indecision and where should I go? Who should I pick? Etc. But what you need to avoid this month, Scorpio, I think that many of you has having trouble in to balance work and love life and family life and whatever it is, because this has to be with commitment. And I was like, why would you have to avoid but any type of commitment? And it's like this card means work, the fox. So I think you have to avoid to be too I would say at work too much. I think you need to relax a little bit more in that. And for others, what I see also is like you do not, I mean, try to avoid to say things that seems or appear that you want to commit when you don't want to commit. Just saying, because this is a message. And this, the fox means, you know, this also means lies and manipulation. And maybe some of you are trying to say things that you don't really mean it. So don't say things that you don't mean it. Basically, that's what it's saying, because you're going to make the situation worse and you're going to complicate the situation. So just be real and honest and sincere. So what you need to focus on is the divine guidance. The divine guidance, I love when this card came up, because the divine guidance is something that it says, follow your intuition, your gut feelings you have, your knowingness, the visions, your inner voice are all trying to tell you something. So you need to focus in that inner voice. What's in there? What it's telling you is very important that you trust and follow that guidance, that inner voice is like they're guiding you. Okay. So basically you need to focus on that and realize this is sometimes messages comes to us, right, and give us signs and stuff and we don't listen to them. So you need to focus on the signs to understand where you want to head, because you are going to be confused and you don't know what to pick, where to pick. That means that you might have more than one opportunity this month, either at work, in relationship, in love, with someone, a friend. It just doesn't matter the situation, because it can be different for everyone, okay? But your soul lesson of the month is the Will. And I love when I see this card over here, because what I said, this month is going to be emotional. It's going to be very emotional. And the Will is about not being afraid to, not being afraid of emotional expression, basically. Because the Well is such a beautiful, animal creature, and it's not afraid of expressing emotions, even when it's passing through difficult terrains, right? It's just, that's the personality of this creature. It represents profound emotional health and stability. So I think for you guys, it has to be with compassion, and communication is very important. That's what this is linked to, especially to the feminine forces of compassion and communication is very linked to. So uh, remember that when all seems lost, you need to trust that things are going to be better. So this is your main lesson. All right. So now this row has to be with how you can attract love. These are only for singles, the ones that are completely alone or in an on and off relationships. And these are for the couples that are married or not, living together or not. All right. But they are in a serious relationship. So for my singles, empathy is very great. So let's see what it says. You feel and understand emotions of another emotions in the service of love. So, my Scorpio, you want to attract love, you have to show more empathy. And let's look at this. I wanted to confirm, this energy here. And we have the ring, again, same card of commitment. The bouquet has to be with gifts, um, complimenting things, complimenting people. And the clock tower is not really too much about time, but also about boundaries. And I don't know, but there's another sign that came up too. When I see the clock, for me, it's always about people putting too many boundaries. And I understand when it says empathy here, because now since we see the the clock tower, sorry, I think it means like you need to try to understand other people's view and other people's emotions. Like sometimes Scorpios can be very intense in the approach, and people try to run away from them because it feels like it's too much intensity. So you need to really check that out, because like I said, the North Node is going to be in that area of passion and intensity. You rule that house, the eighth house. And I know many of you are going to be like, I don't understand astrology, but you're going to understand it because I'm telling you what it means, the eighth house. So you are the main ruler of that house. That has to be the passion and intensity and emotions and transforming, leaving the pain, leaving uh, all the what you're afraid of behind. So you might feel like you probably felt hurt before a lot of times, because the thing is that sometimes Scorpio is has a it's very sensitive. My Scorpios are very sensitive, and you might have been hurt so much, and now it's like you put limits, and sometimes you kind of like meet someone, and you might be in a situation where you are so afraid to get hurt again that you put in certain limits, and you're not showing commitment to, let's say, maybe you need to compliment more the person in a way, like you two kind of like you try to distance yourself from people, from someone you meet, and you're afraid like, oh, I don't want to get hurt. So if you want to track love, you have to show also more empathy, like to understand their situation. Sometimes something happened to them, and you'll be like connecting that with the past. So that's why the North Node in the eighth house also means, whatever has to be with fears of things. So you need to disconnect that feeling of fearfulness and in love to be able to give and be more empathetic to people. All right. And that feeling, or that you show, that you're more empathetic, is going to attract the real love in your life. So For my couple, creativity. Woo! I love this. Let's say you love to devise new ideas, innovations, and forms of illumination. So if I'm in Scorpio, if you are in a couple and right now we're stuck at home, and I know cabin fever, everybody's talking about it, like, oh, so a lot of people's thinking like, oh, maybe we're gonna end up with divorcing because I can't stand to be 24 hours with the same person. Well, if you're in a relationship and you love that person, you know, some people's like, I can't be, I just don't understand that point when people talks about that, like 24/7. I know everybody needs space, which is, it's healthy to have space. But if you're feeling like, oh my God, I'm not having enough space, creation, it's the best bet for you to continue having a great relationship and attract that love again, and, you know, get that fire going on. And here the whip means going over again about something, and it's about, you know, your luck, about evolving. So you might want to maybe go back to something that, you know, make you happy with this person, something that you know that person like, and you're going to create again the same scene, or, you know, be creative, right? Because that's what I like the whip here, because it means like bring back the good, bring back that luck, bring back that newness or beginning of freshness in the relationship. So it could be, you know, going back to something that your partner like, and maybe, oh, he likes when I cook rice and beans. Let me go and do some rice and beans, and, you know, try to things different and be more creative, and, you know. So anyway, if you want to have intuitive reading with me, a private one, you can click right here, in this link right here, and then it's going to take you to my website, and you can order intuitive reading with me, and they all 50% off, and more than that. So I want to make it like accessible for everyone, because I know what we're passing through. And if you really want to reading with me, well, then just go ahead and get your reading with me. And thanks for being with me. Thanks for subscribing, liking, comment. Tell me what's your goal for this month. And please share this guidance with everyone. I'm trying to help everyone with this guidance. For me, it's not about like trying to figure what's the future, but to understand how we can work with the energies, and to grow and be better and better and better. And when we grow and when we become better, then things go better, right, Scorpio? So anyway, thank you for staying home, saving lives, because you save lives when you stay home and you protect yourself too. Remember always to go out with your mask, your gloves, stay to 6 feet apart, 2 meters apart from one to another, and just, you know, that's it. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.